So in this second episode, I'm going to get really practical about how to turn something like a Facebook group into a cocktail party, into a business networking event. Now, if you remember from the first video, I emphasized the need to ask questions of yourself and others. In fact, I spoke about questioning yourself and others interchangeably, and I did so for a reason. Because when we look at how you're going to throw this cocktail party, you're going to kick off with a question like, are people that much different to you? That's really my way of evoking empathy in you via a question. And very important, you've got to pay attention to your intuition. And that intuition exists in other people as well. Just that God-given gut feel we get where we start to signal things from another person. You apply this in person every day of your life. The main thing I want to do in this video is persuade you that you can apply this digitally. There are signals people will give you in email, in Messenger, in a Facebook group that is very similar to the intuition they'll activate with you in person. So try simple things. Why do people leave their cell phone number? What does it mean? Do they want to be called? Of course they want to be called. They're at least okay with it, because if you left your cell phone number, it's a very personal thing. You wouldn't part with it easily. So think about that. I see people neglect that all the time. If somebody clicks on your calendar link and takes a step towards you by booking themselves into your calendar, it's a massive step. You'd immediately label that person as part of the reliable minority that I spoke about in the first video. When and how do you comment on a post? Think about what goes through your mind. The other person does it in a similar way for similar reasons. Just an aside, one of the things I no longer care too much about is declaring my price bracket. I used to emphasize it a lot, but I don't anymore, because if I cast my mind back to my real world experience, people actually don't shop above their price bracket or below their price bracket too much. Generally speaking, somebody doesn't often, 90% of the time, doesn't walk into a store where they can't afford the stuff. People have a way of reading those signals for themselves. You don't have to tell them. So what does this look like practically? A Facebook group typically would require only cheap Facebook ads, because you're doing all the hard work in terms of communicating with them. You don't need the expensive ads that chase conversions within 5 seconds. Your joining questions, however, questions people fill out when they join, and the fact that there must be a calendar link somewhere is quite important to signal to the reliable minority, hey, you've got an urgent need, here you go. I would actually normally aim for that reliable minority to cover the ad spend 2 times over. Then I would have some kind of graduation post. This would maybe be down the line, maybe a couple of times a month, just a nice post that allows people to click and say, or comment and say, hey, I'm in the mood for some more advanced stuff. I've consumed everything else. And that'd be a good excuse to get them on the phone with the first person that I want to talk about that you'll meet in your business is an appointment setter. So that is somebody that gets the person on the phone initially, or gets them into the calendar initially, and then eventually passes them on to a closer. That's the person who has the final sales conversation and clinches the deal, explains how the program works, or whatever it is you're selling works. Of course, I'm assuming you're dealing with a $5,000 plus item in this case. But there is no reason why you as the owner can't play both of those roles. That's quite normal when you're starting out. You don't have to rush out and hire people. In fact, it will help you hire the right people if you do that yourself for a while. So yes, I am leaving room for you to contact me, but I first want to emphasize again that you can do this. All of us have a God-given ability to read other people. I'm really just trying to convince you that you can do that in a digital environment. So if you need my help to move you along, fantastic. The only people who should be calling me to hire me are people who are saying, hey, I like this, I like what you're saying, it makes sense, I can do this, I'm totally persuaded, but I'm out of time. I just haven't got any more hours in the day to devote to this. Yeah, you can call. That's fine. We can talk about a deal. Thanks. Look out.